to start by 12:10. This is to allow for more people to join. But while we wait, a poll has been launched on your screen. Please kindly fill the poll that has been launched on your screen. We'll wait for others to join and we'll start the session shortly. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. I can see more people have joined. Please kindly exercise a bit of patience to be short, starting shortly. We are giving more time for more people to join the session. We'll be starting the session shortly. Thank you for joining. While we wait, please, a poll has been launched on your screen. Please kindly fill the poll. I'd like to hear from you and get your feedback. Thank you. Um, we'll be starting the session by 12:10. This is to allow for more people to uh, join the session. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. I can see more people have joined. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We're starting shortly. We are waiting for others to join also. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I can see more people have joined. Welcome, 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 welcome. We'll be starting shortly. We'll be starting in 4 minutes. Thank you to all those that filled our poll. Please, we'll need you to get your feedback. Please kindly fill the poll that's been displayed on your screen. We'll be starting the session shortly. I can see that more people are still joining, so please bear with us while we wait for more people to join. Then we'll start the session shortly. Starting in 3 minutes, that's by 12:10, we'll start the session proper. Welcome to all of you that have joined us, waiting for more people to join. Thank you. So while we wait for more people to join, just before we start by 12:10, can we all introduce ourselves in the chat box? Take the opportunity to network. You never can tell you other business owners like yourself. So please network in the chat box. My name is Omotayo Akinwumi. I am the Business and Project Support Officer at the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. So while we're waiting to start in 2 minutes time, please can we get us introducing ourselves? Can we please introduce ourselves, where we are joining the session from? Let us know where you're joining the session from. I know that we usually have a whole lot of people joining us from all over Lagos and even all over Nigeria as a whole. So please let us know where you're joining us from. Welcome, welcome to those that are just joining us. And to those that are on here, please, there's a code that's been displayed on your screen. Um, if you do not fill this code, there's no way we would know how we can serve you better. So please do fill the code that's been displayed on your screen. Welcome, Maximilian. Welcome, Maximilian. It's a pleasure to have you on today's session. Welcome, 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 welcome. We'll be starting in a minute's time. Um, I want to believe it's not just Maximilian that we have on this session. Please, can we get people? Let us know where you're joining us from. Let us know what you do. What sort of business do you do? Uh, this provides you with an opportunity to network with other business owners like yourself that are on this session. Welcome, every single one of you. And yes, it is 12:10. So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's session. My name is Omotayo Akim. I am the Business and Project Support Officer at the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. And today we'll be speaking about financial protection for SMEs. Now, as business owners, we need to know how we can protect our businesses, how we can protect ourselves as business owners. And this is some of these that we'll be speaking on today in today's session. Now, this is the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, and one of the things that we do is we provide access to finance for business owners. Now, the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund was brought into being by the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund Law of 2016. And one of the reasons why we were brought into being is to help reduce the issue of unemployment in Lagos State. Now, you might ask, how do we do that? We do that through our flagship program, which is a loan program, where we provide access to finance to business owners all around Lagos. So as long as you're a resident of Lagos, you have your LASTRA that shows that you are a resident of Lagos, you get the opportunity to access our loan facility. Now, aside from our loan facility, we also have our our capacity building programs, we have our free business registrations, we have our access to market opportunities for business owners in Lagos State. We also have trainings for those that are between the ages of 18 to 35 that they can acquire different sort of skills from fashion, construction, to HVAC repair and all of these types of training. We also have, for those in the tech space, we also have our Lagos Innovate team that will provide you with various range of opportunities from our workspace vouchers to our, to our idea hub opportunities, to opportunities for our female founders, and all of these opportunities that we have on offer at the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. Now, I'm sure you do not want to miss out on any of these opportunities, and so therefore, I would like to give you the opportunity by saying that please do follow us on all our social media platforms. Now, what this does for you is it provides you with the opportunity, to it provides you with the opportunity to be able to not miss out on any of the opportunities that we have on offer for you here at Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. So please follow us on all our social media platforms. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on X, we are on LinkedIn or Facebook. So please follow us across all of these social media platforms. And this provides you with an opportunity not to miss out on any of our programs. Now, don't just follow us, turn on your post notification. Now, what this post notification will do for you is to help you not miss out on any opportunity that we have here at Lagos State Employment Trust. Now, on to today's session. Now, today's session has to do with protecting you as an SME, as a business owner in Lagos State. Now, you might ask, okay, we have brought on this platform today an expert that will be taking us through everything that we need to know. And we have with us Mr. Jide Ayegusi. Mr. Jide is a two-time founder with over 14 years of experience spanning insurance, education, and technology. He founded Life Better to help MSMEs, professionals, and families build financial resilience through simple, flexible, and affordable insurance by making protection easy to access from a mobile phone in just a few taps. Life Better enables business owners to safeguard their people's assets, their assets, and the future, so they can focus on growing with confidence. Please can we welcome Mr. Jide as he takes us through today's session. Thank you. Mr. Jide, please you can have the floor.
All right. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, Mr. Jide, you can hear you loud and clear.
Great. So I will just share my screen and then okay, sorry. All right, cool. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jide Ayegusi, as has been mentioned. I'm very, very happy to be here this incredible afternoon. First and foremost, I want to say thank you very much to all of you who made it down here today on Zoom and those that are joining across other social media platforms. You're the reason Lagos is #7 economy in Africa, the last time I checked, because you're contributing a lot, creating a lot of value, to boost the economy of Lagos, and you cannot be taken for granted. So I do appreciate the honor to engage with you this afternoon. And I also want to thank LSATF for this opportunity to engage, as we're providing incredible platforms. And I'm sure that I'm not just the only one who have come to speak to you. I've been following LSATF for a while, and I can, attest to the incredible work that they do on your team and everyone behind the scene who are just ensuring that every one of you as a business owner thrive in your business and succeed. So thank you very much for inviting me once again. So when you today, I want to make sure that this, it's not a training. Let's just start by saying that it's not a training. So please feel free to share your opinions, your thoughts, reflections as we, just go along the way. If you have any question, please just raise your hand using the icon on Zoom. I'll be more than happy to stop at any point in time to answer your question. You do not have to wait at the end of the of the webinar to do that. By the end of the webinar, we also are we're going to have opportunity for reflection. So just also to say that. A few things have been mentioned about me, but just hearing from the horse's mouth, it would be nice to just meet me in a second. As you have heard, my name is Jide Ayegbosi. I'm a two-time founder. I founded EduSchool, a 10-year-old business that basically helps families access top-rated K to 12 schools across different markets in Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, and also support these families with tuition financing, affordable tuition financing. And more recently, we started Life Better. As the host has mentioned, Life Better basically help business owners, professionals, as well as family to protect what truly matters in life. I'm going to look at those things that matter in life as a business owner as we go along. So I've got BSc in psychology from Adekunle Ajashi University. I don't know if anyone is from that school. I'm a proud alumnus. Also MSc marketing Unilag. If you have Unilag here also, let me share in that glory. I dropped out of my PhD a few years back and I'm not going back. So no regret about that. 15 years experience across insurance, education, and tech. I love traveling, as some of you would, but I don't like flying. I am, neither extroverted in terms of personality or extroverted. So you can say I'm neither-verted. So I'm very situational. It depends. I'm from a career Cocoa in Ondo State. If anyone is from that place, please shout out to you. Finally, I sleep a lot. I try to work out during the day so that I do not deprive myself of any sleep. And I'm going to encourage you, entrepreneurs in the building, business owners, please do not deprive yourself of sleep because of business. Your health is the most important, valuable asset that you want to protect. Without money, it just comes for free if you sleep well. All right, having said that, what comes to your mind when you hear the word financial or the phrase financial protection? Financial protection. I want someone to please, chime in. Just raise your hand if you have to, or just unmute yourself and let us know, what comes to your mind when you hear the word financial protection. Moderator, because I'm unable to see the participants, I'm on full screen. You could just help me out, just call whoever raised their hand and they can unmute and they can, just go ahead.
That's not it.
Thank you. Please, guys, let's make this interactive. Feel free. No wrong or right answer. I'm sure some of you might even know better than I do. We're just here to moderate this session. Feel free. Let me know what comes to your mind. Financial protection. Okay. No one raised their hand. Uh, how many of you? Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Innocent Ako. Could you please go ahead? What does financial protection mean to you? You can just unmute. Okay, cool.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, clear.
Okay, from the word financial protection, I think my little understanding is just ways in which we can safeguard my money, income, or assets. Ways, process in which I can safeguard my assets or income against financial losses.
You're actually the best. Thank you very much for
Thank you,
giving
sir.
up, that comment and answer. So you are right. Financial protection is basically guiding against losses, financial losses, right? And as a business, we can already understand why this is important. My next question is, how many of you have had to start from zero, from the beginning, or from beginning rather, having lost perhaps something tangible in your business, aside income? How many of you have had to start from the scratch? Or how many of you have had to experience, financial losses as a business owner or asset losses? Mr. Nwabweze, please. Mr. Nwabweze, then we can have Mr. Beecroft. Mr. Nwabweze, you could just unmute and then we'll be able to hear you. Perhaps the host can enable them to unmute.
Okay.
Maybe they're struggling with this or.
Okay, I'm here now.
All
right.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Nwabweze. Yeah, thank you.
Yes. So yes, there's been a situation of such for me where my business is 5 years now. Although it started becoming profitable around the third year. Uh, However, there's been swings, where from different projects to another project, and in between, how I've been able to manage that is, it's going bullish on acquisition in order to manage the status quo of things.
So did you lose anything at some point?
If I lost something,
Yeah, did you have to start from the scratch?
I had to, because there wasn't any major inflow. It
Okay.
felt like I needed to re-strategize on some things at some point, but it was like a stopgap for me. So I didn't lose many major assets.
Mhm. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much for sharing. Mr. Beecroft, please.
Hello.
Yes, please, we can hear you, madam.
Yeah. It's not that I make any losses, but only that I've stopped for some time, and now I want to start from the scratch.
Right. So you don't lose, in your case, you did not lose anything, but you stopped the business for some time. Now you want to
Yes.
start again. So what made you stop, if I may ask?
Many things, many things.
Please help us out. If you do not mind.
No, they are personal to me,
Okay.
and it's something I really didn't want to discuss.
Okay.
Only
Okay.
that I know that I've been off it for some time.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But I want to start from this
From the scratch
beginning
again.
now.
I'm
Yeah.
sure LSETF will be very happy to help you start again. More than happy to do that. All right. Thank you
And I
very
will
much, madam,
appreciate that.
for sharing. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Um, how many of you are worried? Perhaps, I don't know, how many of you here took money from LSETF? If you took perhaps a loan from LSETF and you are worried that if anything happens to your business, you will not be able to pay back. Or maybe not from them, maybe from another source, maybe from the bank or from any of these loan sharks or sharks rather that we have across Lagos. How many of you are worried that if anything happens to your business or you will not be able to pay back that loan? Without even an answer, and I can already imagine if I took a loan from a bank and I'll be worried that if something happens to my business, most especially Mr. Nzegula, please. Mr. Joseph Nzegula, please feel free to unmute and then share your thoughts. We're still waiting for you, Mr. Ezegula. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right correctly. Please feel free to correct me. Mr. Ezegula, please. We cannot hear you.
So Joseph, I think you are unmuted, but we can't seem to hear you.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we would have to move on. Perhaps, please, maybe once your internet gets back, you can just stop me at any point in time to share your comment, Mr. Joseph. But really appreciate you raising your hand. So as we can see, like the bottom line is all of us, we are just one event or one issue away from financial loss. And when this happens, like many of us will be in a total mess. And it can either be, in terms of the business, and it can even be to us as as a person, as the owner of the business. What I'm trying to say is, for every entrepreneur, we do not work in isolation. When I say we do not work in isolation, I'm not referring to working in the company of people. Our household, our hard-earned assets, enterprise business, they're all intertwined. If anything happens to one, the other will suffer. If something happens to me as a person, my business will suffer. If something happens to my business, things as unforeseen event or occurrence, like, threat, fire, or whatever it is, I will be affected personally, either emotionally, financially, or in whatever way. And the same thing, like if something happens to me, my business will suffer because again, I might not be able to have someone to look after my business like the way I would do. And this is really, really important. It doesn't not even matter whether we have all of the money in the world to hire like competent people. We can all remember a few months back where African biggest or the richest man, had to start to set up ring lights because his business was under attack, right? Purportedly. Like none of us expected that, it would do such a thing. But now imagine if it was not there. Like, do you think there will be anyone? There might be, but but it doesn't look like there will be anyone that will go to that extent, to ensure that like the fight really really well to protect that business. So what I'm trying to say is like if something happens to uh our business is likely to suffer. And hence the reason for the importance of financial protection. Let's move on. As an entrepreneur in Lagos, I also understand that some of us are not in Lagos at the moment. We cut across different parts of Nigeria. But just imagine as an entrepreneur in Lagos or in any part of Nigeria, you are not just creating value, to support the economy, to create jobs or build wealth, for the society as a whole, but you are also providing for your family. You're also providing for your family. And that's why, if something were to be happening to you from the family front, a lot of other things would be affected. Your business, whatever it is that you do externally will be affected. So what's the point? The point is that the business, yourself, and the people that work with you are all intertwined, like I mentioned earlier on. If you're making money from your business, you'll be able to pay your child or your tuition, your child's school fees. You'll be able to take care of your health, provide good health care for yourself, and also support your family living expenses. But if the business suffers, you will not be able to do this. You will not be able to fund your child's school fees, provide quality health care for your family, or even support their living expenses. And the same thing, the asset that you have, your store equipment, your delivery vans, your raw material inventory, all of these accumulated assets. if something were to happen to them, these other things that I mentioned beforehand, school fees, healthcare, all of that, they will be affected. And also the people that are supporting you in terms of, supporting your mission and vision, the employees that you have, that you are creating additional value for, they will also suffer. So we want to see ourselves as a hub around which a lot of things revolve, and all of those things that revolve around us as an employer or as a business owner. We want to ensure that we protect them. We're going to look at how we can protect them one after the other as we go along. Again, talking about protection and the important valuable assets that may merit our attention. Household, family, we have our personal health that needs to be protected, needs to be safeguarded, needs to be protected and ensure that we live quality and healthy life. Otherwise, we may not be able to meet our obligations either as a business on the side of the business or on the family side. Child's education, we believe that children are their future as a breadwinner or as a family person. How do we ensure that we give them quality and qualitative education, right? So what do we need to put in place to ensure that, like, if something were to happen, their interest is well protected. The daily living of the family entirely depend on the cash, on the money you're making, from the business. And as such, the business also, needs to be protected. The second one is the physical assets. Our physical asset, revolves around, the tangible asset we have, in our business. It could be generators, it could be the stock we have in store, it could be vehicles that we have. We've accumulated all of this wealth, and if unforeseen events, happens today, we might be in a total mess. And again, when it comes to the business, the enterprise itself, the running of the enterprise, if you had borrowed money from LSETF or from the bank, for instance, you want to build trust and ensure that you're able to pay back. But if your household is not well protected, if your physical assets are not protected, if something happens to those assets, you will not be able to meet that obligation, as a business owner. So again, going back to, how all of these assets, things that revolve around us are interconnected. Let's move forward and just imagine this situation for a moment, and bring it back, bring it alive rather. Imagine Ngozi, for instance, who owns a very successful business, say in Yaba. Ngozi can be any of us, and we're using brick and mortar business. Doesn't mean that like this only applies to brick and mortar. It also applies to the guys who render services. So she's got 5 staff, a rental shop, machines that are worth 15 million naira, inventory that are worth 20 million naira, 2 children in private school. You can imagine how expensive private schools are in Lagos. An SUV. I mean, if you are doing well in your business, then you also want to take care of yourself. Maybe you got an SUV, either for the business or even for yourself personally. And look at all of these assets together, almost 120 million put together, if not more. Because I've not factored in the education of the children as well. If you're to receive a call, say 2 a.m., and these things, happen every time. There was a fire incident in Lagos not too long ago that made the news, and a lot of people lost tangible, valuable assets. If you're to receive a call to say, hey, madam, your shop is on fire, just pause for a moment. If you're a business owner here, you've got brick and mortar business. If you're to receive this call that your shop is on fire, what will run through your mind? What will run through your mind? Just pause for a moment. It's something that many of us do not think about. And or we live in a place or in an environment where sometimes we let religion, to override reality, right? So reality and religion, they are two they are parts. We can be religious at the same time we can be realistic. But sometimes, like, as sometimes, as I won't say Africans, like in many part of the world, we allow religion to override reality. The reason why I'm saying this is because, like, sometimes you have a business owner, why they've left their assets unprotected, they will say blood of Jesus has covered it. In other words, blood of Jesus seems to be like the protecting factor for a lot of people. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying blood of Jesus is not powerful, or, like, can do whatever you believe it can do. But at the same time, it's only wise for us to also be realistic and ensure that we safeguard what's most important and valuable to us. So imagine Ngozi again, like, where would Ngozi start from? Perhaps Ngozi has borrowed 100 million from the bank or from, lenders. Where would she start from? And sometimes we hear cases of, like, suicide and all of these things. Like, this can be one of the factors, that could trigger, that sort of like behavior. So all of us, small business, big business, medium business, when we think about situation like this, then we see the reason why it's important for us to protect what really matters in life. And that brings us to the importance of, like, insurance. Insurance is not just a financial, burden, as some may have, or some may say it to be. It's basically a strategic tool, that ensure and guarantees a business survivor by basically transferring the risk to a partner that can take care of that risk for you. We're going to go into that, into details. But I'm going to ask you, how many of you here have got one form of insurance or the other in place? It can either be for yourself, it can be for the business, it can be for anything at all. For your phone, whatever it is. How many? Please, if you have, please feel free to raise your hand, and just wanted to understand, what sort of, like, insurance you have. And if you do not have, please also share why. Because, like, there's so many, misconceptions around, insurance in our part of the world. Most especially because of the trust issues and a lot of the things that we have seen as an individual, perhaps living in this our beloved country, Nigeria. So I would want to hear your opinions and perspectives around, or just let us know if you have any form of insurance at all, what it is. Back to you, gentlemen and women. Mr. Ezagula, your hand is still up. Okay. Can we have anyone else to share either, share with us whether the reason why they have insurance, if they do, and if they do not have, why they do not have. And it's for us to just learn and understand, and perhaps I can help you also clarify some of the myths that people have, when it comes to insurance. Because at the end of the day, like I mentioned earlier on, insurance is one of, like, the surest way of protecting valuable assets. There are still additional, ways of doing that, but when it comes to risk and ensuring that you are transferring your risk to a partner who can help you safeguard it, insurance is one of them. I wanted to hear from you, ladies and gentlemen, if one of you here ever subscribe to any form of insurance, and if you have never, please also let us know and let us know why. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, I have insurance on my phone,
Okay.
on my Samsung phone. So I take the insurance so that whenever anything happens to my phone, I'll be able to go back to the store and take a new one. That's the reason I have insurance on my phone. But I'm planning to have a life insurance also, Sha.
Okay. You're planning to have life insurance. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you very much.
for sharing. Thank you. Mr. Ezeagula.
Hello.
Yeah, finally we're able to hear you.
Thank God.
Yeah,
Good afternoon, sir.
good afternoon.
Thank you for this session. So for
Thank
me,
you.
I run a logistics company, and part
Okay.
of the insurance policies that we've put in place is the GIT, Good in Transit
Good
Insurance.
process. Yeah.
And I think the importance of this is so that once our customers' products are on the way to delivery, we're able to keep it safe so that peradventure nobody prays for uncertainties. But once it happens, if it does, we are protected and their goods are protected, and they can rest assured that we've got them covered. Thank you, sir.
This is very, very brilliant. And I really like the motive. And that should be the motive why we are picking up any plan or insurance for either for our business or for ourselves. This is really motivating. Thank you very much. Any other person? I saw that someone else raised their hand earlier on. Could you please raise it again so that we can call you? Okay. So let's listen to you, Mr. Nwabweze.
Okay, for me, I'm still trying to buy more policy, but I have health insurance. That's the one I prioritize. I have one with Reliance, but as I'm trying to expand into having for all of the people that work directly with my business, even though most of them are freelance people, but still trying to create more package, cover some of their time. Some insurance policy around that. But mostly the insurance is on health. Yeah, I think some of my assets, but those ones are payments on maybe like depreciation arrangement. My finance guys know how to manage that. So the one I personally oversee is my health.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mr. Nwabweze. Many of us will take care of our business and we do not take care of ourselves. Right. So we sometimes feel like once the business is alive, fine. Whereas, the reverse can be the case. If we're not in a good shape, there's no way the business will be in a good shape. So that is really, really important. And for us to not even cough out a lot of money in the event of emergency, medical emergency, we need to have additional health insurance in place. So thank you very much. So we had about 4 people out of about 26, audience. So I mean, statistically, I'm assuming that the rest of us, 22 of us, do not have any form of insurance at all. That would be my assumption. Perhaps maybe 1 or 2 persons can just, and this is not, in any way to say you're not doing what you're doing, not picking up an insurance, it's it's punishable, so it's an offense, but just kind of understand the reason behind that decision of not picking up any plan or having any form of insurance for your business or for yourself. Anybody who wants to just tell us, please feel free why they do not have it. It could be because of money, perhaps it's not affordable. It could be that we do not trust, insurance based on what we've seen and what we personally experienced. It could be that, it's not just easy to, access. Many of us don't know how to go about it. It could be that we're not even aware at all. So please feel free, don't be shy. Just let us know. We'll be happy to hear you and perhaps recommend if possible. Okay. Mr. Aditoro, please.
All right, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I had insurance in the past. That is fire, burglary insurance, but year on year, the risk did not crystallize. So, because of the cost of insurance, I just felt, okay, let me just wait a little bit and shift until after some time, then I will renew it again. It's just to save, it's small money. It's just to save that money and then get under the cover again. And that's the reason why I presently don't have an insurance on my goods. I'm a trader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Aditoro. This is brilliant. And that explains the reason why many of us sometimes do not, have insurance in place for our business of ourselves. Because every now and then, like year on year rather, we're not getting returns on the premium we are paying. And we feel like, why am I doing this? If you're a driver in Lagos, for instance, you're a very careful driver, you've never had to claim anything, and you're paying a lot of premium, you would ask yourself, why? Right? If you're a very healthy person, perhaps like you visit hospital once in 3 years, you'll be asking yourself, why should you do health insurance? If you're someone who's very meticulous around your business, you're very business savvy, you'll be asking yourself, why should I, protect my assets? So these are some of the reasons why a lot of people do not have, because they do not feel like they will need insurance at any point in time, or they just feel like they're being careful, and they will not fall victim of any unforeseen events, or because they do not trust insurance. So we've had different stories in Nigeria where people said they bought insurance plan, and in the event of claim, and they had issues, or lack of transparency, because they feel like a lot of insurance companies are selling to them the policies that they do not need. And then they are oversold and underprotected. Some might be that perhaps they have many cushions, like they have a lot of perhaps investments in different places, and they feel like they are covered. And some of us, we might, because of religion, also because we pray a lot, and we feel like bad thing can never come our way, which is also a good rationale, right? So these are different reasons why people do not have any sort of like insurance in place. But if you do, to be honest, you are really done well. You are one of the people, less than 1% of the population, who are doing what they need to do to ensure that their future or their assets are well protected in the event of uncertainty. Now, when it comes to unforeseen and threats, like no one is immune to it. No one is immune to it. Like Mr. Aditoro, it might happen when you least expect. Like you might think that and just keep procrastinating. Like we do not need it pass. I'll do it next year. Let me just let this year pass. The least that we expect, the risk or unforeseen event to happen is when they happen. And that's why sometimes, Mr. Aditoro, you want to say something? Your hand is still up. Mr. Aditoro. Okay.
No, I'm not saying anything.
It was raised by mistake. Okay, cool. Yeah. So and when it comes to our business, most especially for us who run our brick and mortar business, perhaps logistic business, we have we are traders, or we have sort of like business that that's very heavy on operations, very operations heavy. We are not immune to fire outbreak. Even when we are service, we are service providers, and we have like physical brick and mortar office, we are not immune to fire outbreak, electrical surges. And in recent times, like in Lagos, flooding, flooding. In fact, there's nobody who lives on the island now who should not have some sort of like insurance for themselves or for their properties or for their assets. Because flooding, happens almost every year in Lagos, most especially for people who live on the island. Even for the guys who live in the north, we've had stories of, torrential rainfall that sometimes destroy, a lot of their farm assets and what have you. Burglary is also another one, like, theft, burglary, and when any of this happens, like sometimes, like, the years of inventory just in one night, would always liquidate. Any of these events will always almost liquidate, accumulated wealth that we built just in one night, and that's why it's a no-brainer for us. If you have all of these assets, we want to ensure that we have protection in place for it. And I'm going to talk to you about some of these plans and protection. That's on the business side. When it comes to our personal life, personal life in terms of family and the health, just sudden illness sometimes can, incapacitation, accidents, or disability would, sometimes bankrupt if you're not careful, bankrupt us. And we've seen a situation whereby someone who is really doing well in the business, as a result of illness, could not continue. And I would have to even sell, their assets to take care of themselves. Do not pray for all of this. We say God forbid. But to be honest, the people that all of this things happen to, they're also human beings. They are not ghosts, and they are not, they're not out of this world. They live among us. They are humans like us, and they also pray that God forbid, bad things. But these things happen. Let me tell you this personal story of mine about a very lovely and loving cousin of mine, who was doing really well in business and personally in his family. So he had these two beautiful kids, adorable sons. He was healthy, he was living fine, he was well and okay. I received a call, one day that that he was in the hospital. I was like, how come? What happened? And they said to me that he had hepatitis, and he couldn't survive that week. Very sad story. But even the sadder part of the story was that no sooner had he died than the wife started reaching out, to families to support for children's education and for living expenses. And many of us can relate with this story very well. Like it's a story that's very relatable. It's not a story that is very far away from us. We can, see sometimes how a breadwinner will be gone in the family, and the family will be in shambles. The children's education will be in shambles. The wife will it becomes difficult for the wife to survive with the children. And that's why, we, as a breadwinner and as a business owner, we want to ensure that we protect our family fronts, so that if time unforeseen happens, we would be able to, if there's any way we can look back after life, we can look back to our family and say, yes, thank God I did this. So now it's a very sad statistics around, what happens to how many businesses and what happens to businesses that do not, insure within the first 1 year. Statistics says that about 80% of them, fail after 1 year, within 1 year. If any major catastrophe, strikes within 1 year, 80% of the businesses, they'll fail after a major catastrophe. So this is the statistics that affects, all of us. Like I said earlier on about Ngozi, we can imagine ourselves to be Ngozi. Like if all those things were to happen, to our business, what would happen to what would happen to us, and what would happen to the business, the sustainability of the business. Why is it that cash reserves are never enough? Some of us might think that, yes, I've got investment, I've got cash, and the business is running, like, so I do not have like physical money kept somewhere, or physical cash, or like tangible assets, kept somewhere. There's money that we can fall back to. The danger of that is that when unexpected disaster strike, small business owners, they often deplete their working capital, because they would have to, that remaining capital that they have, or the cash reserve they think they have somewhere, they would have to deplete it, to sort themselves out. Sometimes people will sell land in Lagos, for instance. Some business owners will have to sell the land that they bought, to take care of the business, or even to pay the interest or the loans that they've incurred on themselves. So without a structure, well-structured safety net, a single shock, can transform a thriving entrepreneur into a struggling debtor just in one night. This we keep emphasizing this for us to understand the importance of protection and the enormity of some of these disasters or strategies, tragedy that can happen. So let's look at some of the plans one after the other, and see areas of vulnerability in our life journey and the protection that we can have in place and the key benefits of some of this protection. Again, the three items that I've always mentioned in the course of this discussion: a family, a physical asset, and a business enterprise. What are some of the vulnerabilities we have in these areas, and what are some of the protections that we can put in place? Let's start from the family and health. The vulnerability can include medical emergency. We all can relate with this. It can be loss of the breadwinner or children's education. And what are some of the plans that we can have? Term life is a plan that is really super important for any breadwinner, to have to protect their family. And I will explain what it is for us here. As someone was mentioning earlier on that they're planning to have life insurance for themselves. Perhaps life insurance we're referring to term life. The way term life works is, as a breadwinner, you can say you want your family to be paid 100 million if something were to happen to you, perhaps death. And then you want to pay a percentage of that 100 million. It's a very ridiculous amount. The percentage can be as much as 0.5%, right? Let's just put a figure to it to say maybe 1 million. So you pay 1 million a year to buy 100 million for your family, right? So that, like, if death were to happen within that 1 year, the family get paid 100 million. It's no brainer. They get paid and they can survive at least for some time before they stabilize and continue with life. And that's what a lot of billionaires do. Regardless of how much they have or what assets or valuable things they have term life insurance for their family, because they know that it comes easy and it comes handy when disaster, accident, death, or critical illness happens to them. So that's term life. Again, the reason why some people do not like term life is because, like Mr. Aditoro, they keep paying, and if they do not die, nothing happens. So you're paying your premium every year, expecting that if something happens, your family gets paid 100 million, as an example, hypothetically, and nothing happens to you, your 1 million is gone. You have to renew again the following year. And sometimes, like, if you keep doing that for like 5-6 years, you're going to be asking yourself, why am I doing this? I've paid 6 million and here I am still healthy. But the thing is that the peace of mind that it gives you is second to none. You cannot get it anywhere. And that's one of the important, things to consider when it comes to financial protection. Peace of mind. You are peaceful to yourself that, yes, I've got something in store for my family if something were to happen to me. The one that is very common that people that are aware of it do is endowment. Most especially if you've got children. And there are different kind of endowment plans. So endowment plan is different from term life in the sense that your money returns back to you. And it allows you to be flexible in terms of how you pay your premium or your contribution. I'll give you an example of, say, a children's education plan, for instance, that a lot of insurance companies sell. Also, you can find that on Live Better for your information. The way it works is, I've got a child who I know is in elementary school, say primary 1, I know the child will be ready for secondary school, say in five years minimum. And then I do not want to scamper for fund by the 5th year when he or she is ready for that secondary education. And I also know that as a business owner, my life is in God's hand. At the same time, anything can happen to me. I also do not want, that education, my child's education to suffer, that secondary education to suffer if life were to happen to me. So what do? I want to set aside 10 million fund, endowment fund. But I do not have 10 million at once to drop as a premium. What I will do is, I will say, you know what? I want to save towards 10 million over the next 5 years. And I'll break it down into monthly, quarterly, yearly basis, depending on what works for me, depending on my budget, on my finances. And I can start to put this money, as I plan it, maybe monthly, to set aside and contribute it on a monthly basis or quarterly basis. Now, the beautiful part of an endowment plan is that I'm saving towards 10 million. By the end of the 5th year, the money is available for me to use for my child's education into secondary school. And then plus the interest. It comes with interest. Let's assume that by the 3rd month or the 5th month or 6th month of contributing that money, which means that technically I would have contributed 600,000 naira, and life happens. My family will not get the 600,000 that I've saved. They will get the 10 million that I'm saving toward. It's a no-brainer, really. I do not see any reason why every family should not have this in place for their family, or every business owner should not have this in place for their family. Something that allows you to contribute little, and if in the event of unforeseen circumstance, your family gets the outcome, not what you have saved. There's no investment that can guarantee that, but financial protection, insurance can guarantee that for you. For information on how to do that, for instance, I'm going to tell you later on how you can, use our platform Life Better to access some of this wonderful plan called endowment. Many of us are familiar with health insurance. We know how it works. It's plug and play, right? So you pay a certain premium, your family is covered, you are also covered. Also, what we need to bear in mind is whenever we are buying health insurance, we want to look at the coverage, because again, the illness that really plague us to the point where we are depleting our finances are not malaria, typhoid. They are serious ones, right? So sometimes, some of these plans may not cover some of those serious things. So you want to check properly to ensure that, your plan covers them, so that if they happen, you know that you're not going to your purse to pay out of pocket. There's an insurance in place to sort that for you. So that's that on the family side. The other, plans that you might want to look at. For instance, the endowment plan does not just cover death. It also covers, critical illness if you fall sick critically, or you're involved in an accident that results into disability. Disability is not like, 100% crippling of the body, but, it can just be minor disability. The payout will be guaranteed, not just what you have saved, but, the outcome. And it's like I keep saying, no-brainer. Like I keep saying, please look this up, and then, reach out if you have to for help, if you're looking at how to set that up. The physical assets. We have our physical assets as assets, whether we're a brick and mortar business or, we render services. Fire, it's no friend of anyone. It doesn't knock at the door. It doesn't matter how much of care or, safeguard we put in place for the office. It can happen. There can be a surge, and then and that can result into fire. Theft is another one. Either theft from your employees or from thieves, outside thieves, like petty thieves. It could be water damage to shops, to your shop, or the flooding that I mentioned earlier on. So all of this can, areas of vulnerability, for your business and your assets. What can you do? So the different solutions that are tailored, to your needs. There's what we call all risk insurance. All risk insurance is basically saying that instead of 1, 2, 3, I want to bundle all of these things together. I want to bundle fire, theft, burglary, or whatever together into one, or loss. So loss can also happen. You might be transferring or moving your gold chain, and then perhaps like for one reason or the other, or your phone, you kept your phone somewhere and you left it there, and you came back, you couldn't find it anymore. That's um so all risky will cover that. So that all of that bundle together will cover that. Instead of just insuring against just one risk, you want to make sure that you have all of those encompassing risks. And the plan that covers that is called all risk plan. And it's again, one beautiful thing about insurance is very, very cheap. It depending on who you are talking to. You'll be surprised to hear that, for instance, all risk to the value of say 50 million, you might be paying 0.3% of that as premium. That's ridiculous, right? But that just tells you how cheap insurance can be. Sometimes when we hear insurance, we think that they are very, very expensive. They might look expensive, most especially if year on year we're not claiming, but we want to look at the enormity of the loss that can result if we do not have our risk, our assets protected. Third-party liability is another one that if you are into construction or you are into logistics that you do not want to play with. A third-party liability meaning that if in the course of if something happens to a third party in the course of running your business, perhaps a logistics company, for instance, if someone is loading your truck and something falls, on them, the kind of insurance that will ensure that that person is taken care of is paid handsomely well is third-party liability. If you are into construction and maybe like your crane falls on someone's head, or your crane damages someone's car or someone's valuable assets, the insurance that can help you sort that out and ensure that you're not paying out of pocket to support whoever that damage has been done on, it's called third-party liability. Someone mentioned good in transit earlier on, which is super cool if you're also into logistics. Imagine you have 100 millions, worth of goods being moved from one place to the other, and you do not have good in transit insurance. If accident happens and then those things get destroyed, one will be in trouble. But we see that happens a lot in Nigeria, where you see some trucks, they fall off, and then people start stealing, the item from the truck. All good, good in transit insurance will help you ensure that whatever it is that you have lost as a result of that is paid. So that's that about, and there are all sort of like financial protection for your business. So again, like because of time, we'll not be able to look into all of them, but just know that whatever it is you have as an asset, and think of a risk that asset could be subjected to, and then there will be some sort of like insurance that you can have. Please feel free to speak to us at any time if you need such. Business continuity, it's another journey as an entrepreneur. And when it comes to business continuity, there's some vulnerabilities, most especially if you are taking up loans from lenders, right? So if shock were to happen, time and unforeseen, you want to ensure that the business continues to pay back their obligations, financial obligations. And credit life is one of the plans, solutions that have been set that have been set aside or designed rather to ensure that we are protected. Credit life is basically the amount we have taken. We are paying a percentage, a very minute percentage of that as a premium, so that if life happens and we're unable to pay back that loan, our insurance partner, they will pay the rest of what you are owing to your creditor. A lot of like lenders, before they even give you a loan, they take that out as a premium and pay the insurance company. But you as a person, if someone is not doing that, if your lender is not doing that, you can do that for yourself. and just ensure that you are protected. It can also be KIMA insurance. KIMA is basically saying that you have key employees in your company. If something terrible were to happen to them, how do you recoup your loss? Say someone who's in charge of your data, protection, or someone who's in charge of your critical, asset of the company, and they, all of a sudden they die. So it can also even be you. How do you ensure that the financial obligation that is tied to that asset is fulfilled or continues to be fulfilled? KIMA is a plan that you may want to put in place for yourself or for those key individuals in your company. The one that is less talked about that I'm going to remind you today, for some of us who are not aware, is what we call group life insurance. According to Pension Act of 2024 or 2004 rather, it's mandated, it's compulsory, mandatory for any employer who has a minimum of 3 employees to set up group life insurance for them. Again, a lot of employers or business owners do not do this because at the moment there is no, the enforcement is not as strong as we would expect it to be. But trust me, one day it takes one government to just wake up and continue to remind us why this is important. By that time, it might be late for us if we're not doing that already. And the way it works is also very simple. I've got 3 or 5 employees, and I'm paying them. Maybe they cost me 10 million. I pay them 10 million yearly. In the course of their, while they're working with me, if anything happens to them, perhaps death, how do I ensure that the people that they leave behind, they are well taken care of, they are catered for? Group life insurance is an insurance that has been designed to sort that out. So basically, I would multiply the annual income by 3. So if someone earns like 2 million, you multiply by 3, that will be 6 million. And you pay a percentage of that as a premium, so that if they die in the course of them working for you, then you can pay their family 6 million. I'm sure you have seen where some companies, they go to the bereaved, and they say, oh, your company, from a token from my heart, to you, because your husband has been very hardworking in our company, and we just want to appreciate as a form of, as a token, as appreciation for what your husband has done, or a condolence, pay 10 million. Trust me, that 10 million is not coming from the pocket of the company. For any company that is smart, it's coming from the insurance pocket, because that company would have done what we call group life for the staff. Please, this is really important. Don't overlook it if you have a team of 3 or more. Financial recovery speed. One of the reasons why people do not put in place financial protection is because of the speed of recovery. Sometimes, as a sort of because of their experience or because what they've had people said, about insurance, they think that it's going to take forever, but it doesn't. We now have a regulator that is very, very strong. They're called NICOM. NICOM is like the CBN to the insurance, industry, and they are very strict when it comes to compliance, when it comes to claim payment, when it comes to claim processing and all of that. So it doesn't take much any longer. In fact, NICOM Act says that any insurance company that that does not pay claim within 48 hours will be liable to a lot of penalty. Like, the money is humongous. So no insurance company would want to do that because of the 1 million or 2 million or 3 million that they want to pay you. So it's now fast. And even with Life Better, the business that we built, it's 100% digital. It's even faster. Within a couple of hours or days, you're able to get your claim out. Compared to those who do not, have any sort of plan in place. What are the steps that you want to take to, ensure that you have a protection or a plan in place for your business or for your family or for yourself? The first one is to do audits. You want to look at critical asset that you have. I've mentioned quite a number today. Your family, your health, your shopping inventory, all the assets that you have. What risk are they prone to? And then select, a plan, bundle that can help. You can reach out to us, Life Better. If you do not have any financial advisor, we can help you to navigate that journey easily, which is step 2. Step 3, for instance, if you taking loan from LSCTF and you do not have credit line, I'm sure that LSCTF will have credit line for you. But in the event of, perhaps you're not sure, please, we are also happy to help you navigate that part. Perhaps also, this is also a call for us to work closely with LSCTF as we go forward to ensure that all of you, are well protected when it comes to not just the loan that you have taken, but also other parts of your business. And the last part is peace of mind. If people ask me what is the benefit of an insurance, aside the claims, I say to them, peace of mind. When you have peace of mind, you can focus on what is important in your life and ensure that you scale through. But if you're worried about many things like financial losses, asset losses, and all of that, so if you're worried, then you won't be able to function optimally because all of these things will just keep lingering in your mind. So Life Better Advantage, I mentioned that earlier on. We have affordable, plans on our platform. You can download Life Better on Play Store and App Store. Spell Life Better just as it's on the screen. You can navigate through many plans that we have. If you do not have any plan that is suitable for you, reach out. We'll be able to, accommodate whatever it is that you have protected. And it's flexible, times that that can work with your budget and work with whatever it is you have as a plan. It's fast because it's digital, 100% digital. There's rapid turnaround time. Our doors are open 24 hours a day. And then also for some of us who might find it difficult to navigate through technology, we also have financial advisors, dedicated advisors who can help you navigate this journey in a way that is seamless and easy. I don't want to advertise ourselves too much because that's not the reason why we are here today. But please feel free to speak to us. So this brings me to the end of this discussion. But before I go, here is a summary of what we have spoken about. If you are a Christian here, you understand this scripture, this Ecclesiastes 9:11, King James Version says, "I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding." Look at this last part. "Nor yet favor to men of skill." Last part. "But time and chance happened to them what? All." Time and chance happened to them all. We cannot predict the future, like people will say, but we can create it. Insurance is the best way to create the future and ensure that whatever chance that happens to you, you are well protected. You'll be restored back to where you were originally before the loss. And look at what the Quran also says. If you're a Muslim here, Surah Luqman 31:34 says, "Indeed, Allah alone has knowledge of the hour. No soul knows what it will end tomorrow, and no soul knows in what land it will die." In other words, we do not know tomorrow. Nobody knows tomorrow, only God. Anything can happen to anyone at any point in time. It doesn't matter whether we are close to Jesus, close to Allah, or close to God. We are humans and things will happen. How do we ensure that we are well protected? Ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why we have had this discussion today. Thank you very much for your time. I really do appreciate. I hope I'm not taking too much of your time today. We would now leave the floor for questions and discussion, reflection. Please feel free to raise your hand and then we will call you. If you have experience to share, perhaps you know someone who didn't do what they're supposed to do, what happened to them, or perhaps you know someone who did what they're supposed to do, what happened to them. Perhaps just how you feel about this discussion today, this webinar today. Please feel free. And if it's a question you have about any plan, about anything, please, by all means, I will be here as much as you want me to be here to answer any and attend to any of these inquiries or questions. Thank you.
Thank you
ladies
so
and
much,
gentlemen.
Mr. Jide. I'm very sure a lot of our participants have learned a whole lot from today's session on how to protect themselves, how to protect their businesses, how to protect their workers and the likes. So I don't know if you have questions, please you can drop your questions in the Q&A box so that Mr. Jide can attend to it. If you have questions. So I know we have a feedback here from Uthman that says, I have a 40 million loan and the business is insured to that level, although we have stock valued at twice as much. Insurance companies have been shown to be unreliable, but going forward, we will insure part of the business covered via our equity. So I think that's a good feedback.
Yeah, let me can I attend to
yes,
that?
you can. Yes, you
Okay.
can. Yes, you can.
Thank you very much. Very valuable feedback and perspective you've shared there. But let me tell you, like I mentioned, and maybe you dropped this before I talked about Nikon. Imagine before 2024. Sorry, I keep saying 2024. Before 2004, before Soludo, how the banking system used to be, right? So the banks were not that reliable. But after Soludo and some of the reforms he brought, things change. All the banks in Nigeria now, they are really well capitalized, strong and reliable. And there's NDIC protecting everyone. The same thing is happening in insurance now. NICOM, they are very strict and very serious when it comes to consumers, when it comes to protection, and when it comes to making sure that you get your claims, not just getting your claim, getting it at when due. So things have really changed. Please give it a go again. Don't just do 40 million because 40 million only covers, it's credit life, right? Covers only to the tune of 40 million, like you really said. The other important things that you have as assets, make sure that you also provide, have a plan to ensure that you cover against all the risk that the business may be prone to. I'm happy to have a chat or discuss after this webinar. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. So I have a question here that says, first, the feedback is what an insightful session. And then we have the question that goes, do we have a single package that can cover life, GIT, endowment, etc. in a single package, or must we have different packages?
It's a bit tricky to have have all of them bundled. So you have insurance is categorized into two. So you have life and you have non-life. So it's easier to bond life together. So you can bond endowment with term with all of that, accidents, personal accidents, critical illness, and you can bond all of them together. Right? Bundle, I said bond. Bundle, yeah, bond at the same time. Bundle all of them together. The same thing with non-life. So with non-life, you can also bundle theft, burglary, fire, and all of that. Bundle them together. But it's a bit tricky, and I'm not saying in our climb where you bundle life with non-life. So yeah, I don't know if that helps. Yeah.
Okay, I hope that answers your question, Sir Joseph Iziagula. Please, do we have any other question? Oh, Mr. Joseph, you said you have a practical example. Please,
Yeah.
you can, okay, let me give you permission to speak so that you can share with us. Mr. Joseph, if you can help by using the raise hand icon so that I can give you permission to speak. Okay. Okay, you can go ahead, Mr. Joseph.
Insightful session it was. or it is. You know, I just thought to share an experience I had. Um, while you, so while you were speaking about, the possible, the thought that, you'll be paying these premiums, and over time you just feel discouraged. You've not had any challenge as such, and you feel it is a waste of time. I had such experience. Now I had at the time I was doing a comprehensive car insurance, and I had to, at a point, I felt I was wasting money, and I stopped.
Mhm.
So it was mandatory to do the third party, which I did at the time. And I had this on for a while, and so sometimes I just thought of going back to the comprehensive. I got the form, and while um, um, I was still trying to decide. I had the form in my car, and all of a sudden, an experience you know, I would just say it was only God.
Yeah.
Involved in an accident. It was a terrible one, such that, you know, um, anybody who saw the car thought everyone in the car had, passed. I had my wife in the car too, and some two family members in the car. It was a multiple accident.
Wow.
I crashed, the ABS failed, and it was a slopey point, and there was traffic. It was like 4 years back. There was what do you call it, fuel scarcity at the point. So I ran into vehicles. You know how a typical filling station will be, and queue runs into the street, and people pick double lanes. So I crashed, having that kind of picture, I crashed into multiple vehicles. And at that point, it dawned on me, at the end of the day, spending millions,
Yeah.
but the insurance I had could not cover,
Just third party.
it just covered, it didn't even cover the third party because it was
Oh.
for we. So I just thought to share this experience. Sometimes we look at it is as a Nigerian, or as Nigerians, we are quick to look at this other angle. But what if, that is the question? What if? And that taught me a lot of lessons, taught me a lot. And that's why I can relate with all that has been, said. Sir, I thank you. In fact, there's some other things you opened my eyes to, which I want to appreciate. Thank you so much. You are doing a great job, sir. And thank you to LSCTF for always bringing these conversations. Got to share this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is super, super, super incredible. What a relatable experience that you shared there. Yeah, we can all relate to that. At least we expect unforeseen to happen. Just when they happen. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for sharing and for that reflection and for appreciating our work. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joseph. So I think we don't have any other question. So, Mr. Joseph, so I think we don't have any other question today. So, Mr. Jide, please, do you mind sharing how they can reach out to you for those that might have one thing or the other that they might want, maybe they might want to subscribe to your platform. So if you
Yes.
can drop your contact details in the chat box, and I can call it out also to those that are joining us on our other platforms also. So that's that gives them the opportunity to be able to join.
Yes, for sure. You can either reach out to us via our website, It's www. Just as on the screen, www.livebetter.co. And then for email, it's live@livebetter.co. live@livebetter.co email. And then you can also download the app on Play Store and App Store, Life Better. And then also, if you want to follow us on social media, you can also follow us on social media, Life Better across socials on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. It's Life Better. And if you want to call us, perhaps like, for financial advice, again, on when it comes to protection, we're also happy to speak to you. The number is 080 8848 7549. I'm going to drop it on the chart as well so that we can copy it out. It's 080 8848 7549. Let me drop it on the chart. So we'll be happy to speak to you to look at some of the risk that you are prone to as a business and as a person, and I can advise you on the way forward. It's 080 8848 7549. Yes. So thank you very much. Please feel free to follow us. As you follow LSETF, follow us on Instagram, on Facebook as well, Live Better, and let's keep the conversation going. Thank you. My colleague has also dropped. Okay. Oh, I dropped it on there. Sorry.
Yes.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, Mr. Jide. Thank you so much. So for those joining us on our other platforms, the number is 080 8848 7549. I repeat, 080 8848 7549. So thank you so much, Mr. Jide, for joining us for today's session. We really appreciate you taking out time off your busy schedule to take us through today's session. I'd like to appreciate our participants also. Thank you so much for joining us for today's session. I'm very sure we've learned a whole lot from today's session. And we look forward to having you at our session next week. So please be on the lookout. Follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at Lagos State Employment Trust Fund on all social media platforms, so you don't miss out on any of the opportunities that we have on offer here at Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. Thank you so much, everyone, and we do hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Mr. Jide, once again, and goodbye.
Thank you, guys. Take care of yourself.